So this is going to be a cool episode, man. We're going to do something special on this episode.
Oh, we're on?
We're on.
Oh, sweet. Okay, cool. So, welcome back, you guys.
Yeah. So you went to Coachella last week?
Yeah, kind of like that. Except it wasn't Coachella. I went to City Rukkas in Las Vegas last week.
I so wish that my back would have been up to this trip, dude. I wanted to go so bad.
I know you did. I know you did. I could see it in your eyes.
Yeah, you could probably
hear it in your voice. I could
smell the tears running down my cheeks that I couldn't go.
Yeah, every time you commented on my posts and things, I was like, man, I know he wants to be here. But man, what a cool weekend! I gotta tell you, it was back to back, pretty fun stuff. Lots of people, met lots of cool people. Really good gig.
Lots of driving.
It was actually way more driving than I kind of planned on. So
with the car, that is.
So it's like a 430 miles or something like that one way. But yeah, you're towing, so it moves a little slower. We connected with a bunch of other guys, met up with more guys as we went. And then, the thing that I didn't really plan for, because I'm trailering, right? So I thought that the Tacoma was going to have a small tank, being that it's like 20 gallons, but you saw my mileage. It was rocking on the way out. It wasn't that good on the way back, by the way.
Okay.
But I was like 14 plus miles to the gallon on the way out, which was awesome. But I didn't have to worry about my tank size because some of these rat rods, man, they had to pull over like every 50 miles at best. At best.
So why don't you throw up a reel of one of these cars that you guys rolled up there with? So you were trailering, but a lot of these people were driving their rigs up then.
Yeah, so this is actually the group right here that we connected with. This is maybe like half of them right there that I kind of shot, this is one of the gas stations. On the way up, one of the many gas stations that by the time that we tagged up with these guys, but you can see what they're driving right there, and then their tanks are like 7 gallons.
Beer kegs.
Yeah, no, it's smaller, like little spun aluminum
pony
tanks.
kegs.
Yeah,
pony kegs.
Yeah, pretty much.
That's funny.
So it was so fun, man. So
what was the name of the club you rolled up there with?
So it was a bunch of guys from Rat Rod Addiction. I'm not sure if it's necessarily a club. It's a clothing brand for sure out of Phoenix area. One of the, what do they call it? I'm in real estate. I should know what these things are. Suburbs of Phoenix, yeah. And it's like a bunch of their friends.
Okay.
And that's the group that we went up with. So. Yeah, dude, so we're going to have a special episode today. We're just going to kind of do a little recap. We're going to highlight a couple of the cars that were at the event and then just talk about kind of what happened.
Yeah, sounds good. And you guys, this is truly like live, if you will, because I haven't really got to talk to John about this trip yet either. So this is me learning just like you. Me finding out about this trip, that is. It was sounds like it was a lot of fun. Again, really, really wished I could have went. Maybe next year I can go with you.
Yeah, I think I probably would go back for this. I think it was cool. I think it was definitely cool experience. So I'll talk a little bit more about it as we're going. Just kind of the things that happened and. But it was definitely a cool, overall, just a really good positive thing, man.
Yeah?
Yeah, it's a good group of people.
Cool.
Rat rod. I've always been fascinated with rat rods. So some of you guys maybe have been following us, maybe not on YouTube as much, but the Instagram crowd that's been with us for like 7-8 years or more, when Instagram started for us, it was Rat Rod Maniacs, because I was super passionate about rat rods and I thought I was going to build a rat rod, and that's kind of how the 49 Ford kind of was, came about, and then it just went a little further than your typical rat rod, but it's definitely inspired by the rat rod, scene,
right?
And the Mad Max, which kind of go hand in hand. So rat rods, yeah. So rat rods, I don't even know, there's a definition for them. It's like blue color hot rod that's pieced together from like more than 5 vehicles or something like that, and it's unfinished, or at least appears unfinished.
Right.
Something like that. There's actually a technical definition for rat rods.
Okay.
So, but yeah, so we got out to. So this was in Las Vegas, and it happens every year. And so it's City Rukkas is the event. It's on a Saturday. And then it gets coupled up with Welderup, which is a big, pretty popular shop out in Vegas. They had a TV show, I think it was called Vegas Rat Rods. I think it was the name of the TV show.
I don't know.
Not sure what channel, Discovery or one of those. for years. You know, they had multiple seasons, and so that guy,
Steve Darnell.
Steve Darnell is the owner of the shop, and he does an open house / swap meet / car show the day before on Friday. So pretty cool at his shop, you know, which is like inner city, downtown kind of, you know, industrial. The freeway's like on ramp on one side of you, the train tracks are on the other side. There's like warehouses everywhere, and it's pretty sketch, but it's cool. So
well, this was the drive up there, so that's what we're showing right now. What's the what do we got for our next picture to share with people? This is a cool rat rod you're showing, by the way. This truck is awesome.
Yeah, and I wish I could tell you more about it, other than it was just super loud. It was very deep, dude. The tone was just incredibly deep on that rig. But yeah, there was a whole bunch of those guys, you know. So
on the back. Oh, and you got to go cruise the Vegas Strip with our buddy Duke, blue collar 12 valve.
Yeah, dude, that's right. So we trailered up together from here, and so we trailered ours, you know, only just because I want to preserve my rims. And
Duke trailered as well, right?
He trailered. He said he could have driven, but he had his wife with him and stuff, and you know, his thing's just wide open, you know, too. So it would have been a long and heavy ride to cruise that thing. But man, we got to cruise the strip on like 2 or 3 nights.
Who's standing up
that's
in his car?
His dad. Yeah,
that's awesome.
That's Duke's dad, dude. He was so proud of his son. It was so awesome to see it, man. He's like, they're rolling coal the whole way down the strip. We went up that strip like 2 or 3 times, and we were just, you know, I wish we could do audio.
Horn blaring.
Train horn, you know, revving, I'm revving, you know, 6,000 RPM probably, you know, just sitting there, and people are just, you know, cameras everywhere.
Whoa, look at him take off, dude.
Oh, yeah. And then I try to catch up right there, you know, with one hand, which is always good.
That car is so quick, dude. So much torque out of that diesel.
Yeah, dude. So yeah, we had a ball, man. So we were out there, and it was cool. It was cool. That was like Saturday night, I think, when we did this little cruise. So it was pretty hopping on the strip.
Yeah.
And it's so fun, dude. If you guys never been to Vegas, like with your car, and you're out on the strip, I mean, you have so much freedom there. The cops do not care.
No.
Do not care. There's guys on street bikes pulling wheelies. They're just, you know, rev limiting the entire way down. You know, there's supercars, you know, just ripping it and
flying down,
shooting flames out the exhaust, and then every once in a while you'll see a 49 Ford, you know, body swap BMW just going, what? You know, it's so fun, dude. You truly become a little silly, like you're like a little kid. You gotta really watch out, you know.
Yeah, I've gotten to do that, I think 3 or 4 times with you, but never with a friend though. That takes it to another level. That's super cool.
Yeah, dude. So we were out there, and so there's some cool cars, man. There's some really cool cars out there. Again, very ratty, very, you know, up that type. So here's one.
This is ratty?
This is a little ratty. So let's show what we're getting ready to look at here. So this thing right here is, I'm not sure the year on it, but it's a Volkswagen Beetle. It's a bug. It's a VW bug.
Very Mad Max.
Extremely Mad Max. So this is a guy. He's on Instagram. I think it's called Romp73. I think the name of his. So it must be a 73 bug, I'm guessing. I don't know. Don't know where Romp comes from.
I like the TSL bogger or TSL Super Swamper tires.
Oh, Swampers, yeah, big mud tires on it. So I started seeing this thing on Instagram many years ago. He brings it, I think he lives in Florida, and he brings it down this way to the west. There's an event called Wasteland, and it's like kind of a crazy thing. It's off. It's off the grid, you know, kind of post-apocalyptic. People are dressed up in their, you know, in era specific or, you know, proper attire, you know, with like the whole Mad Max kind of thing, right? So that's what this is themed after, right? Which obviously does a really good job.
Yeah, it fits that. That's for sure. Very ratty though too. You know, like you said, lots of different vehicles. Got the bicycle tube on the steering around the steering wheel. Yeah, and the slots just barely opening on the windows for just.
Just enough of the machine guns
to stick out, but yet when somebody's shooting at you, they've got to hit a small target to get in, you know.
Yeah.
And got the high lift across the front hood and some lights by the mirrors. That's super.
Yeah,
cool,
that
man.
jack, you know, that high lift jack. At first I thought it was like an AR-15 sitting on the side. get it off of there, So I don't know if you guys can tell so far, but this is not your typical Maniacs React episode today. This is going to be a different kind of just hanging out, shooting the breeze, and just talking about a couple of the cars.
But I would give this an on the limiter, dude.
I would definitely give it an on the limiter as well, because
I would definitely rock this car.
Yeah, it's got some really cool elements, obviously. Love the rusty, kind of finish on it. And some of it's actually painted, but it looks like it's rusty, which is cool, But yeah, it's a cool rig, dude. I think, and you know what? I don't think I have a shot of the engine on this one. It's a pretty just typical, Volkswagen with like a single carb, or looking, manifold. But I realized it has this tiny little supercharger that's like a little belt drive, just a V-belt.
Oh, yeah?
Little V-belt drive, little tiny supercharger. I've never seen them before.
Okay.
But I'm sure it gives it a couple of extra horses,
Hey, that's
Maybe help move those swampers.
Couple extra horses, that's like 20% increase.
That's true.
Oh, yeah.
That's cool true, car. Dude. So this was actually at the Rat City Rukkas. And if you guys go on our page, just go to Maniacs Garage, Instagram, and Facebook, is where you're going to find a lot of the posts that I did. Did a bunch of reels of the vehicles there. And man, there was like a really cool rig. I do have footage of that too.
About how many vehicles do you think were there?
I don't know, man. I'm guessing 300 plus.
Okay. So, I mean, you can, like, in a day, it's all you can do to see everything, basically.
If you really wanted to pay attention to all the little details, because there's a lot of detail on these things. I mean, some of them are just, like, super ratty, just barely hanging together. All in fact, there was an award for it, like a bucket of bolts, I think, award. Just like the most rigged one, that barely made it there. There was, like, a hard luck award, for one of the guys that broke down, like, a bunch of times on the way there, coming from, like, actually, people come from, like, Midwest, dude.
Okay.
And some of them drive them.
Yeah.
So pretty
hardcore
bunch,
You were telling me earlier that Steve actually brought out his weld truck and had to weld up one of the vehicles for somebody.
That was at this event, or at this day. One of the guys went out the night before and had a few too many apparently, and was feeling pretty
a little feisty,
pretty drift king, and ended up wrapping his rat rod up on not around a pole, but went up a curb and ripped a bunch of suspension off, and so they were trying to weld it. So yeah, man. So Steve Darnell, dude, he literally brought one of his welder rigs, which is like a really cool rat rod. Mm-hmm. I think it's called like Ironworks or something like that. And like awesome, dude. It's an awesome rig with like long travel suspension, just nice. and it's a ratty truck, That's cool. And then a flatbed with a generator on the back, and the generator's all ratted out looking too. It's cool. Well, and then they were welding that thing up in the parking lot. Have it? Right. They were welding it up in the parking lot there, So, let me highlight another one, dude, that really kind of stuck out to me, and kind of course, a little more near and dear because of the branding, right?
And you told me that this is not what it appears. This is actually a body swap onto a modern all-wheel drive BMW chassis.
Yeah. So this is like a 1970s BMW 2002, which is the model name 2002, not the year.
Yep.
And it's a really cool body, and they're pretty sought after because there's not too many
front,
left.
Round headlights.
Has a little shark nose actually on this, type. But yeah, so got to talk to this guy, Chris. He's with Sin City BMW Service Center out there. Okay. So they do a lot of BMW stuff. In fact, dude, it was cool. They built a BMW drift car for. Do you remember that show Hyperdrive?
Yes.
On Netflix?
Yeah.
So he told me a really cool story about that for like this underdog. It was a girl driver from like South Africa, right-hand drive BMW. It's like a E30, I want to say. Okay. And they couldn't afford to bring the car out from South Africa. So they reached out to these guys, and through some people, they pulled some money together, and they built a replica right-hand drive E30 drift car for this girl to run in the Hyperdrive TV show.
Oh, wow. How cool is that?
Super cool, right? And this chick, apparently her thing is, I don't know her name. It would be fun to know. We could look her up. But apparently her thing is that she has this throttle lock on the car. So she throws it in like second gear, throttle locks the thing, steering locks it with the key. Like they can turn the key and it locks the steering but keeps the car running.
Okay.
And the car's doing donuts. And she hangs out the window and dragging her long hair on the ground.
Oh my word.
This is crazy stuff. But that's this guy. So this was
Okay.
Chris. I got to hang out with him a little bit and shoot the breeze. And this was their 2002.
Funny sideline, completely unrelated. You mentioned that show. You remember my son Cameron had a Honda CRV with a giant turbo?
Yep.
Well, that turbo is off the Lamborghini that was on that show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
On his
And
Honda
then-
CRV.
And then kind of even crazier, that hyperdrive show, I was at a local car show here outside of Tucson like a year or maybe a year and a half ago. And I met a guy, he had like this pretty unique, I don't even know what it was now, it's like a Ford Fairlane or something like that. And we got talking, and he was actually the guy that designed the course for hyperdrive.
No kidding.
Yeah, I guess he's retired out here now because, big retirement community out here.
Yeah.
And he was doing like IndyCar race course like layouts. Like that was his career.
That's cool.
And then he was hired on to design the track, the course for hyperdrive, which was this TV show. If you guys didn't see it, look it up on Netflix. I don't know if it's still on there, but it was a few years ago, and it was like out like in Rochester, New York, I think, at some the old like Kodak plant.
Oh, okay.
It was like an abandoned, not abandoned, but like a defunct, plant. And they set this thing up for like this really cool drift, game show,
crazy lights and
yeah, it was cool. It was a
neat.
cool thing.
Anyways.
So we digress because that was fun. So.
Another set of super swampers is what I wanted to point out on this car. No, this is
true.
Super neat. I dig that. Got the winch on the front and everything. This is
Just
another
in
one.
case.
If we were going to rate, dude, I'm definitely on the limiter with this thing. I would drive the snot out of it, man.
Yeah, dude, it's
I'd have
pretty.
this all over the desert.
It's pretty rad. It's caged out, so it's gonna help you survive the roll.
Still has some backseat in it. Might be able to throw a couple kids back there.
Not legally technically with the roll cage back there, but hey,
They'd be all right.
Yeah, they got a helmet on, right? So it'll be all right.
Yeah.
All right. So, So what else we got here, man? What else we got?
What do we got on the next tab? I don't remember what we had saved up here anymore.
Oh, yeah.
Some nightlife.
Yeah. So this is what these events are super cool, right? So it's cool to be at the event and doing the thing, right? But then you got the nights in between. So this was at the Strat Hotel, which is the old Stratosphere in Vegas. And this is a dirt lot out back that's like their overflow or like oversized vehicle parking, I guess. So we actually got to park the trailer, which was super cool because it's hard to find place for trailers in Vegas, for events that you go. So we're able to leave all our rigs out here, and then so some of these guys were parked out here, and they were out here and having a good time. One night they're out here till like 1 o'clock in the morning, just again air horning throughout the night, right, starting the motor up because it's pretty like industrial-ish around.
Yeah, you're by the parking garage. You're not by the hotel itself.
Yeah, the hotel is on the other side of the parking.
Okay.
But yeah, that dude had a flamethrower on the school bus.
So is that hooked to the same propane tank that the little vehicle's burning?
No, the little one is a small tank right there. That's for the little one. And then that guy was selling those. So they're like these little model 30s looking trucks, and then it's got a burner in the middle of it. So it's like a cool little grill.
Okay.
I should have asked him how much, huh? But we can build our own, so I never do. But he was a cool dude. I got to meet the guy with that green cab over right there, GMC.
Looks pretty
super
neat.
cool dude. He drove in from like Utah, I think.
Okay.
With his son. So it's a cool family thing, man. People bring their wives, and it's kind of rockabilly, kind of a, that whole kind of vibe. But dude, bunch of cool, just like blue collar, regular dudes working, the kind of the lifeblood of America.
And
dude.
so you said it's kind of a family-ish event, so it doesn't get
really
too
is.
Rowdy or nothing during the day. People aren't drinking too much.
Nah, I mean, there's obviously drinking,
Sure,
and even at night, but no, dude, it's really cool.
Okay,
really
awesome.
Cool, like music throughout the day, and there's award ceremony towards the end, obviously, and it was a really good time.
Cool. Speaking of awards, we might as well say it right now. Our buddy Duke.
Yeah, he won. We should have put the picture up. I have a picture of him.
Oh, yeah, we should have, but we didn't.
I could just keep talking. I'll see if I can make it happen.
Yeah. So they have. I was talking to John about this earlier. They have all kinds of different categories, lots and lots of different categories for the different rides. We did enter the car in one of the categories, and it did not win, unfortunately. But we're fine with that, right? There's so many cool vehicles there. The people who won deserve to win by all means. But yeah, Duke won in his category. We're not sure what exactly that category was. It's like pre-30s or
Yeah, it was some
something
sort of
like
traditional rat rod, 30s, something. I don't know what it was, but he definitely deserved it.
yeah, for sure,
Yeah,
for sure.
it's gonna take me too long to put it up. Can't do
Right.
it.
We'll skip it.
Yeah.
Anyways, hey, if you guys go to the Maniacs Garage website, I'm sure there's a picture of it there. In the meantime, before we get on to the rest of your trip, we should
Because I do have a few more cool things to.
Yes.
So definitely stick around because
Yeah.
there's some really cool stuff
Keep
still
watching.
left.
But let's talk about our sponsor tonight.
All right.
Hostile Wheels. I say tonight, but I don't know when you're watching this, so
But
sponsor for this episode.
Yeah, that's right. Hostile. They've been super cool with us.
Yeah.
They actually built a one-off set of wheels for the 49 Ford with the offset we needed, with the BMW luck pattern that we needed. And it was a brand new design, and they called it the Hostile Maniac, and they actually sell it on their website now as a cast wheel
For big trucks.
for big
Yep.
trucks. But obviously they do UTV stuff. They do
Yes.
some really cool super light UTV stuff,
Yeah.
different styles, some dune stuff, some rock crawling stuff.
Do some van wheels as well.
Yep, they do. So they have a really good lineup. So this is on a Jeep right here, but this can go on a Tacoma. This can go on some SUVs.
Yeah, kind of a rally style, like you mentioned
Yeah,
earlier.
it's got a really cool rally look to it. So they're definitely pushing the envelope with some of the newer designs, so they're not behind the times. It's really good, really good lineup. I mean, check this one out right here. This thing's on a Raptor R. It's another one of their other styles, style wheels. And so, but yeah, and then they also have the super deep lip, the big, crazy, look as well.
Yeah.
So
30s with low profile mud tires.
Yeah.
Not really our style, but hey, to each their own, and they make them for you. Lots of different sizes and styles. They're good stuff. Good,
Yeah, and you can
good people.
Yeah, they are. They're really cool to work with. So you can check them out at hostilewheels.com, and then our Instagram on Hostile Wheels as well. But yeah, Hostile Wheels, man. We definitely love working with those guys.
Yeah, for sure. So
All right.
after the show on Saturday, there was some stuff happening. Well, let's finish the show.
Yeah.
We step back a little bit.
So
Friday.
we're not going super chronologically here, but the cool thing that kind of went down, and let me see, how can I reset this to go to the beginning?
I think you just gotta wait.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll see what happens here. All right, here we go. So.
Yeah. But on Friday, you were at the show that
The Welderup Vegas.
Welderup Vegas. And
open
so
house.
This is the museum where the open house was taking place.
Yeah, that's right. So they have a shop that's probably a little bit bigger than this whole area here that they have also dedicated to a museum / gift shop, and stuff. Oh, by the way, I got you guys hats.
You did?
Yeah, they're in my truck.
Awesome.
Yeah,
Thanks,
I got your
man.
cool Welderup hat.
Cool.
Yeah, you and Jim. Nice. Jim's not here today, but hey, that's all right. We love them all the same.
Yeah.
So this is their showroom, dude. It's a museum, whatever. They have like their old builds that they did, So like that's one of the builds right there that they had on the TV show. Obviously, we've seen it at SEMA a couple times now. But there's like these really cool what dioramas? I don't know because it's full size. Is that still called a diorama?
I have no idea.
It's like this life, like snapshot of like what it would look like back in then.
Okay.
Like those corners right there with the old truck and the old gas pump and the old whatever. Shed and that kind of stuff. See, like that whole thing with like a city scene.
Yeah.
And then of course it's got their, like that's the Joker.
Right.
And then there's, the other one was the.
That car's so wild.
What's the one behind it there? We did the interview with them on that one. It's like circus. Clown show. I think it's called Clown Show or something like that.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
But we got to get that interview edited.
Yeah, we got to get that out too.
Hopefully
that
soon.
was a good one.
Yeah.
This thing's
I'll try to work on that next.
Yeah, so that was a fun day, So we got to kind of cruise through the show, this museum, and I mean, you could probably spend, like, when you go and you're gonna go.
I'm gonna try to go in a couple weeks. Yeah.
Give yourself like an hour.
Okay.
Just so that you can really kind of take some of the stuff in, because otherwise you run through too fast and you're missing out on just some really cool stuff that they have. It's really, really neat. And you'll probably be able to get over to the shop right next door.
Okay.
And just kind of see what's going on there, So
Yeah.
maybe I'll reach out to Steve, see if we can see when you're going and set something up. But yeah, man. Yeah, it was. Man, I just can't. I could probably talk about it forever,
Mm-hmm.
But it was really cool. And then I think what was even cooler than that is messing up my next slide, which is even cooler than that. I'll have to find it, but it's right here. So I think it's.
Oh yeah, that one. That's the one.
Yeah, I don't know if it's that one or if it's this one. Yeah, I know it's a different one. Hang on with those guys. We'll get it going. It's this one right here. So the bonus for all of this was that Steve invited kind of anyone who wanted to come, and ended up only being about 15 or 18 vehicles that came out Sunday morning. So I was ready to pull out of town and get going, get on the road and come home. But went out to this thing. So they invited people to his house, his personal house, just outside of Vegas. He's like on some acreage. So this is at his house. All these guys got together and check out the house, man. So like, here is what his house looks like. So there's a little snapshot of it for you guys. It's the ultimate bachelor crazy pad. So this is the inside of his house. So plaques of all the old projects. There was a whole bunch of dirt bikes, like old 70s and stuff, dirt bikes.
He likes his motorcycles.
In the formal living room / dining room. It's full of bikes. You couldn't even walk in there. He'll circle back around. That's his backyard. Yeah, there it is, right there. It's like steps up, and both of them are just filled with bikes, from little 50s to, the full-size bikes. And then just all the, era-specific signage. And then that's his living room. And like the TV, the flat screen, is literally the windshield of a 1930 Ford with like the front end.
That's so cool.
You think your wife will let you do that?
Probably not.
And then the backyard, dude's got this big pool with like a waterfall, this lagoon, and so cool. And then there's like 57 Chevy here, and then some other 30s car there, and gas pump here, and there's
if you watch, there's actually a car up on the balcony.
Yeah, it's like a 1932 Ford, like original, sitting on the balcony. Like you had to build it in to have it in there. Like it's you can't just put it in there. Like you have to literally build around it. So it was cool, man. So then the whole point of this thing was that he wanted to show us kind of what his next plans are. So he used to have this big TV show, and he was like, burning the candle at both ends and just kind of really grinding, going, crazy. And he's kind of slowing down. He wants to kind of get back to the roots, and just building cars and doing it for the kind of more the fun and passing the thing really down. His passion really is to like teach people.
Okay.
Young, old, whatever, but a lot of the younger crowd that's like has no opportunity, just they're so stuck into the video games or whatever they're in, social media, and then they're not really out. He wants to teach them like the old way of like how these mechanical engines, worked, and how to weld and how to, kind of do this stuff.
Yeah, I know he's got a welding class coming up.
Yeah. So, oh crap! I just closed the entire. Oh. Oops. We're going to have to cut that. I have no idea how to recover from this one.
Yeah, I do. Let's open that back up. We'll have to pause.
So,
cut back in.
All right, and we're back. I closed all the tabs on the computer, so
oops.
Nice job. Thanks for bringing them back, Ryan. So here we are, because we're wrapping this thing up. We're at the end. Yeah. It was super cool. Got to, really hang out with Steve. We met him a couple years ago at the SEMA show, but it was really nice to, throughout the weekend at different things, to kind of hang out with him, kind of get a little bit more, get to know him a little bit better, about like just kind of what his passion is and kind of where he's going with some of the things. And it's cool, man. It's really cool.
He was a super neat guy when we talked to him at SEMA, but everybody at SEMA is going a million miles an hour. So
yeah, it was super hard to get a word in.
It had to be really neat just to sit and chill with him and be a little
having a coffee at his house, in the backyard. It was cool. And then, kind of the whole point of that getting together at his house was to caravan out to this little place called Good Spring.
Okay.
And it's just outside of Vegas. I don't know, 30 minutes or so, 40 minutes, 45 minutes. It's an old gold mining / some other, metal mining through the years. But apparently at its heyday, it had like 1,000 people population.
Little.
Now it's 100.
Okay.
There's 100 people that live in this little town. There's like some saloon / gift shop that's there. So there's like bikers that were there.
Okay.
And like that was like the whole thing of the town, But he bought some acreage out there. He's right here. He's telling us just kind of his plans that he had. We got to walk around the whole place, and there's like these really cool old buildings on it that are like
some neat old buildings there.
1800s, dude.
Really?
Yeah, some cool stuff. Man. He says some of them haven't been opened in decades. So he doesn't even know what's in them. He bought the property, and he's going to do some videos opening them up and stuff.
Man, how cool is that?
So he's going to bring his shop out here. He's
Okay.
going to build a shop out here. He's going like kind of off the grid, so they have their own well. He's doing solar and wind and some. So he's definitely really into the analog kind of mechanical stuff. So like wind powered stuff, but he is going to want to get into some solar and some more off the grid stuff, to be completely dialed in. But he's going to have like just metalworking shop, welding shop, all these different things where he's going to do classes and things like that. And then people can come out. And then this really long-term thing is to have like accommodations that you can even kick it there, like almost like Airbnb style. And so you can go do his class and then you can stay there and kind of experience that.
That would be super cool.
And dude, there's trails all around it.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, like dirt biking or UTVing is just
nice.
It's ripe.
Nice. I'm sure he'll be on his bikes out there then too.
Yeah, right. Yeah, he's pretty big right into that, like you said. So it was really cool, man. It was a very cool event. Wish you could have been there. So yeah, we're gonna definitely have to do something, for next time.
Yeah.
But hey, man, we thank you guys for hanging out with us for this last 30 minutes or so. We had a really good time. I don't know. Hope you guys are having a good time watching some of these things, some of our Maniacs react, and in our other videos. And if you guys haven't seen the hundreds, literally, of videos that we have out there now, combined on the 49 Ford body swap BMW, all the way down to the last rendition of the fender flares that I'm really, really stoked about. I really love the way the fenders look. I do, man.
Are you?
I do.
Okay.
I love them.
You've only said it a couple of times.
I know. I tell him, like, every time I'm looking at the car, I'm like, bro,
it is cool.
It
is cool. And I'm not only am I happy with the fenders, I'm really happy that you're finally happy with them too.
Thanks. And actually the car was shot a few weeks ago. Ryan and I were there for it. Did we mention that already last time?
No,
I think
we
might
did
have.
not. Hand-built cars.
Yeah, they came out from the UK, actually, so from Great Britain. Yeah. They were down here, a really cool couple.
Yeah, super nice.
And they shot the car for their channel, which is called Hand Built Cars. And it's already out on it as a slideshow, which was really cool, just the whole build. So if you guys are curious about the whole build on it, and you have probably, what is it, like a 45-minute thing?
It's about 50 minutes, yeah.
50 minutes of from very start to probably the very finish.
Yes.
Building the 49 Ford body swap BMW in slideshow with just music behind it. That's on Hand Built Cars.
There's a few sections of video too.
There's a couple of video sections.
There's some talking.
Yeah. But then they're going to come out with the actual video that they shot of us here, which was a full interview, driving shots, all that. So that's coming out in the future on Hand Built Cars. Yeah. So we appreciate those guys.
Absolutely.
62 Mercury, kind of driving now. Good. We're happy with it.
Some shakedown things we're still working out, but yeah.
Unless you're ready to dig into the Studebaker. Is it Studebaker?
Yeah.
It is Studebaker.
Yeah. We're close.
With your permission, I think I might end up starting to cut the Volvo up.
Okay.
Maybe. And
we'll see.
Maybe it'd be a faster project to get it out and get it on the thing. Volvo, old 69, 59 Volvo. My hope is to get it on a Polaris RZR chassis. I know there's a couple of them out there now that people have swapped old Honda Civic and Mini Cooper and stuff like that on a 2-seat. I want to do it on a 4-seat. Long travel it and take it to the Gambler 500. That's really my hope.
I really want to do the Gambler. That'd be so much fun.
So you guys hang around, follow us on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, because we do cool stuff.
We got fun stuff coming up.
We do cool stuff. So yeah. So
thanks for watching. We'll let you go.
Yeah, God bless you guys. We'll see you in another video.
Yeah. That was fun.
Yeah, that was cool.